Now's the time to be part of the team at Team Toyota. Step up to the plate with a winning lineup of new Toyota models like the new 4Runner, Grand Highlander, and the all-new 2026 RAV4. Or find something perfect for your game plan and your budget with over 300 certified used Toyotas available. And don't sweat a trip to the IL. Our service and collision centers will have you back in the game in no time. So slide into one of our 3 locations, Princeton, Langhorne, or Glen Mills, or take a swing online at teamtoyota.net. This is Phillies Talk, presented by Team Toyota. I am Spencer McKercher, digital video producer here at NBC Sports Philadelphia, and I am once again joined by my co-host, Sean Kane, the producer of Phillies pre- and post-game live. Sean Kane.
Spencer.
Right before you walked in here, you said, hey, I guess we don't got to worry with the sun anymore.
Right, we're more in our natural environment here in the old podcast room in our offices in South Philly as opposed to Clearwater last week, which was awesome.
Oh.
But a lot of you had to deal with it more than I did. Our setup down there, you had to account for the sun because you wanted good lighting, but then we're both staring at the sun. But you did a good job setting up all those podcasts.
Thanks, buddy.
They were fun. That was a fun week at spring training.
It was a lot of fun. We'll get into some stories towards the end of the pod. But as Sean mentioned, we are here back in South Philadelphia.
Yes.
And to start off topic, as we normally do before we dive into some news and notes around the first few games of spring training. The last time we talked, Justin Crawford joined the show. And that was, Friday?
Yep.
So we haven't talked in about a week, and games got going.
Yep.
Already, the Phillies do get their first win on Wednesday as we sit down here. But we start off topic, Sean, and it's kind of piggybacking off of what we talked about 3 or 4 pods ago before we went down. And that's my guy, Phil.
Okay. Oh, Punxsutawney Phil.
Punxsutawney Phil.
Yeah.
I just want to go on record that guy was right.
He was.
And coming back here, I had to move my flight up, end up missing the end of the gold medal men's hockey game.
Oh, yeah.
Which was just devastating
Sunday
for me.
Sunday morning, yeah.
But just wanted to go on record and say all the hate that he got, that groundhog, he's true, because I landed and the blizzard continued, and now we have snow on the ground once again.
Welcome home.
And I feel like I got like a nice tan from being down there. I'm rocking, if you're watching on YouTube, rocking a new Philly spring training hat. If you missed that video, we posted it on our social of all the good things that Diamond Outfitters over at Baycare Ballpark. But I just wanted to get that off my chest, that Phil was right.
Yeah, man. I mean, we're down there in 78-degree weather all week last week, and then I'm back. I came back on Friday night, and here comes the snow on Sunday. Out there shoveling Monday morning, man. It's just like you're right back at it. But hopefully we're, knock on wood, through this winter's been intense, man. This has been a really intense, snowy winter. And I've had it. I'm good. I like the snow. I like the winter, but I've had enough shoveling. I've had enough snow, enough playing in the snow with the kids. We all got our full. So let's go. Let's get ready for spring.
It looks like the above average temperatures are going, or the temperatures are going to be above average here within the next few weeks. It looks like 60 degrees next week, which would be great. And of course, I'll be heading back down to Clearwater probably when it starts to warm up. But we are 29 days as we sit down here on February 25th, 29 days away from opening day.
4 weeks from tomorrow.
Cannot wait, man.
You're just going to gloss over any big milestone events on Monday?
Big milestone.
We're just getting by that before we get into baseball?
Yeah, sure. Okay. We mentioned it on previous podcasts. Finally an old man.
You're an old I don't know about that, but happy birthday.
Thank you, pal. Appreciate it. Celebrated the big 3-0.
Yes.
It was good, man. It was good. Got back here, shoveled.
That's right.
And then just went out to dinner with Sophia. It was just a nice little evening and day that we had. And
you're in your 30s now, man.
It's crazy, dude. Wow. It actually hits you kind of hard.
Yeah. I hear you.
It was the official existential crisis to a point of my goodness, dude. This is it's a big decade.
Yeah, it is a big decade.
At 30, if you're not 30 yet, you'll get there, and if you are above 30, I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. But a lot of milestones coming up, but feels good, man.
Good. Well, happy birthday.
Thank you, pal. I appreciate it. And we the tiredness has already kicked in. I'm cooked.
Yeah, you start getting tired a little easier as you get older.
And all of a sudden it's 9:30, and you're like, oh, there's that college basketball game on. But bed does sound kind of sick.
Yeah, or you can get some sleep.
That's 30 for you, baby.
That's right.
So as we sit down here on Wednesday, thank you, by the way. That was very nice.
Of course.
The Phillies get the first win.
Yes.
Finally.
Yep.
had a goose egg. We're 0-4 to start out spring training. End of the world. Everyone's freaking out. No one's hitting. The pitching doesn't look great. Here we are.
Yep.
But everyone silences that on Wednesday with a nice 5-3 win over the Detroit Tigers at Baycare Ballpark. And really, we'll start with the guys that really kind of finally got going, and it's your big-name guys. Bryce Harper finishes the day with his first hit of the spring, which leads to an RBI. JT Realmuto scores from first.
Yep.
3 pitches later, Alec Boehm delivers with his second RBI of the day, his second hit of the game. Just good to see the guys kind of start to finally come through a little bit.
Yes. Yeah, a lot to like in that game on Wednesday. And again, obviously slow start in the spring record-wise. Certainly not the end of the world. You know, in Tuesday's game, not a lot of guys made the trip across the state. So these guys are playing very sporadically, and they're Grapefruit League games, so let's not get carried away with the results all the time. But you should be looking for good signs. And I saw a few of them on Wednesday against the Tigers. And I'll start with Alec Boehm, because there's been a lot of talk, as you know, about the 4-hole and who's going to hit fourth. And Bryce Harper talked about it himself. We're going to need somebody to step up in that 4-hole. And I think Alec Boehm, as we've talked about, is going to get the first crack at it. And there were a couple instances on Wednesday where he came through. The third inning, Bryce walked to load the bases. Here comes Alec Boehm with 2 outs, and he hits a hard, sharply hit ball right up the middle off the second baseman's glove, gets an RBI out of it, extends the inning. Later in the game, as you mentioned, had another RBI hit. So that was good. It was good to see Alec Boehm coming through, and they're going to need, whether it's him or somebody in that 4-hole, to provide some protection, and if not provide some protection, just to make opposing pitchers pay when they pitch around Kyle Schwarber, when they pitch around Bryce Harper, and there's men on base. And Alec Boehm traditionally has been pretty good with runners on base throughout his career. So that was good to see. Otto Kemp, the big home run. He really got into a ball today, pretty much dead center field. That was good to see. Brad Keller started the game. A really crisp first inning from Brad Keller, who, you know, we were down there watching him. He looks great, man. He's a huge addition. Hopefully he stays healthy. He's going to be a big part of their bullpen. And yeah, Bryce, you mentioned Bryce got his first hit of the spring with a double. Justin Crawford, nice catch in center field. So as you can tell, a long list of things that I thought stood out on Wednesday.
And you know, it is just the 5th game of spring training, but it was good to see finally some of these guys kind of find their groove a little bit. It obviously takes some time. Some of these guys are ramped it up to go to the World Baseball Classic. The Phillies have the most players on one roster going to represent different countries in the World Baseball Classic. So we know that, you know, the ramp up has begun, but it's good to see. You mentioned Keller, 11 pitches, 8 of them for strikes.
Crazy.
Just dominant. And he talked to the guys, Scott Fransky and Ruben Amaro Jr. in the booth after his outing. And he kind of mentioned that, you know, what he focuses on is that really 5-pitch arsenal.
Yeah.
But it's different between lefties and righties. So basically it's only a 3-pitch arsenal because he uses different pitches for lefties and righties. And he had everything working on Wednesday afternoon. And he talked about when he signed with the Cubs last year and was a member of them, you know, they brought him in to be a starter.
Right.
And then he admitted that, you know, once he finally kind of started to find his groove, he basically was like, now finding a role in the bullpen is kind of what saved his career.
Yeah.
And if he can be that 8th inning guy, which I think having that role is huge, it's going to be great for the Phillies, and I'm excited to see what he can do in 2026.
No doubt. He's a huge part of what they're going to be able to do, and I think more times than not, he's going to get that 8th inning. You know, they might go to him earlier if there's a couple tough righties up, but I think he's going to kind of become their setup guy for Johan Duran. So he's looked great. He looked great in his live sessions last week. He looked great Wednesday against the Tigers. In addition to being a very, very good reliever, potential to be a first-team all-media guy. I mean, the guy every day when we were down there, standing in front of his locker, talking to people in the clubhouse, making himself available. You mentioned he was on the broadcast on Wednesday talking to Scott and Ruben. Media-friendly guy, type of guy you want to see do well. Most of the Phillies are. But getting to know him a little bit, Brad Keller, he seems like a pretty cool dude, fits in really well in that clubhouse.
He does. He fits in right away, and he even said just being welcomed with open arms has really helped him kind of fit directly into this clubhouse.
Yep.
Big crossword puzzle guy.
Loves the crossword puzzles.
Big crossword puzzle guy.
Knocking those out daily.
There. Yeah. Every morning and every afternoon. Brad Keller knocking out some crosswords. So
yeah, we wanted to talk to him a couple times. The day they golf, we wanted to talk to him about the golf tournament. We wanted to talk to him just about his role. But I felt bad interrupting his crossword puzzles. Like, all right, we'll wait it out here. Let him finish up before we talk to him.
Very locked in, which is pretty cool. You mentioned friend of the program, Otto Kemp.
Yes.
I mean, I'm glad you brought that up because he put a swing into that and landed in the berm and about left center field for his first home run of the spring. Played second base today too. Goes to show that I think he will be your main utility guy with Dylan Moore as well. We'll get into Rob Thompson's comments before I left about Dylan Moore as well. But I think just seeing the ball go over the fence and kind of picking up where he left off last September should kind of excel him going forward.
Yeah, we've talked about it quite a bit. You talked to Otto about it. I think the biggest thing with him is health.
Yep.
Like, he wasn't really ever healthy. He got hurt very early on after coming up. He fouled a ball off his knee, and when he's healthy in the box, when he's healthy in the field, he can really be a productive player. And yeah, to your point about playing some second base today, well, obviously we've seen him play some third base. We saw him play some first base last year, play some left field. So the more positions you can play, the better off you are, the better your chances are of sticking with the club, because that versatility is a big thing over 162 games. I tend to still think he's going to get most of his time in left field, but hey, if they need somebody at third base, if they need somebody at second base, if they need somebody at first base, he can fill that role. So so far so good with Otto, man. He's, again, another guy that I think is going to be a key for them.
You mentioned another friend of the program, Justin Crawford.
Lots of friends of the program.
Yeah, well, yeah. Friend, you know, as these recurring guests continue to happen, Aaron Nola, Justin Crawford, Otto Kemp, Tanner Banks, Rob Thompson, friends of the program.
Yes.
But Crawford does make a pretty nice catch. I saw some comments on social media that were like, "Oh, I don't think this is post-worthy." I don't know about you, but if you're battling that sun and you're running full speed towards that right center gap at Baycare Ballpark, where it's a little shorter and you don't really know the depth of the wall, he makes a pretty spectacular catch. Nothing to write home about, but in my opinion, it's not going to make SportsCenter's top 10 plays, but in terms of baseball, he makes a nice running catch. However, this is what we kind of got talking to. So I was there in Dunedin on Saturday for the very first game, was in the dugout. Everyone, I think, was just super excited to be playing somebody else and seeing another team on Saturday in that first game. I talked to Justin after the game. He even mentioned like he was itching to get back out there and see other competition. He starts that game with a double, goes 390 off the left center field wall. 3 pitches before that, he comes about 5 feet from a home run on the second pitch of the game. Pulled it right down the right field line. It misses the foul pole by about 5 to 8 feet, I'd say.
Right.
And the dugout went nuts when he pulled that. Like everyone thought he had it. Now, he has been hitless since then. He's 2 for 9 in spring so far. Again, I saw some comments on social media as well. It's like, hey, well, like, here we go.
2 for 9.
Jeez Louise, man. Calm down. He's fine. And I think him admitting to us when we talked to him after the game on Saturday, just the small adjustment that he made where the bat is now closer to his ear. And I think that's going to eliminate really the ground ball rate, because when your hands are a little lower, you're going to stay on top of the ball. So you got to stay on top of the ball.
Yes, I've heard that.
And then, that's where your ground balls hit. But if he can bring his hands up a little more and bring that bat plane a little, more flat, I think we're going to see more fly balls out of Justin Crawford. And I think that's still an adjustment that he's making so far.
Does K-Long need an assistant? Like, the way you just broke that down.
What do you need?
I feel like you need to get back to Clearwater.
I talked to K-Long, dude.
And work with these guys in the cage. the swing plane and the barrel rate. No, you're right. Like, and he just seems comfortable to me, whether it's in the batter's box, in the clubhouse. That was my biggest takeaway from observing Justin Crawford.
Even talking to us.
Like,
the confidence is
talking to 2 hard-hitting journalists like ourselves. That's a big spot for him, and I thought he handled it well, personally.
I think so too, man.
But no, he looks comfortable, and yeah, that obviously great first game in Dunedin when you were there on Saturday. Great at bats there. And the catch today, like you were just mentioning, people, it wasn't that great. Like, it was a good catch. Tracking that ball, I mean, I've battled the sun doing a podcast at that ballpark, let alone catching a big league fly ball in left center field, right center field. But no, it was a great catch, and he seems to be getting good reads. He's made a couple nice catches coming in on the ball in the first couple of games. So he just looks comfortable in center field. He looks comfortable in the box, and he seems like he carries himself like a big leaguer. So so far, so good. We're 2 weeks into camp, but I think Justin Crawford is making the kind of progress I think they hoped he would make.
For sure. And I think he's going to see a lot of at-bats. We asked him on Saturday about that as well. He wants to play in almost every single one of these games to get repetitions, to get, kind of the feel of some of this big league pitching. He has faced this big league pitching in spring training previously, but I think just getting more reps will only help him kind of get into opening day and get back on the horse.
Agree.
Going back just to pitching real quick as we wrap up Wednesday's game. We showed a graphic on NBC Sports Philadelphia before the game got started of the projected bullpen, and it's your typical guys. And we know that there's a handful of names fighting for probably that last spot. It sounds like Kyle Backus, Tanner Banks, and Jose Alvarado are your lefties. So that's 3. Then you have Duran, Keller. Who am I missing?
Kirk.
Kirk.
That's
and
6.
Then, that's
Bolin 7.
Bolin would be 7.
Yep.
And then there's the 8th.
Kirk is Kirkering. I should call him by his full name.
That's fine.
Avoid
That's Kirk.
confusion. Kirkering, Bolin would give you 4 righties and a 7 total, in addition to Backus, Banks, and Alvarado.
With the 3 lefties.
Yeah.
Yep. So there is a battle for that spot. And on the graphic, we put a projected bullpen, and the name that they put in there, that 8th and final name, was Zach McGambling.
Ooh.
The Rule 5 draft pick.
Yeah.
Who pitched on Wednesday.
On Wednesday, yes.
An inning, 2 hits, 1 run, 1 earned, a walk, and a strikeout from Gambling. Now, he threw 25 pitches in that inning compared to Backus, who threw 9, Keller, who threw 11.
Yeah.
Don't know. Again, it's nothing to be like, oh, here we go. Like McCambly's first, start in spring or first appearance in spring.
Sure.
But what are your thoughts on kind of how this, really the final bullpen spot, we've been talking about it pretty much all offseason and over the last month or so. But, McCambly struggles, and then Zach Pop pitches well, which he did as well. And then you have Chase Shugart, who's made an impression already in spring training.
Lazar in that mix?
And Lazar, he didn't pitch today, but he is also in that mix. So, I just thought it was interesting that we threw McCambly's name in there today.
Yeah, no, he obviously has a shot, and I think Lazar is somebody that he had a couple rocky outings that skewed his numbers a little bit last year, Lazar. But overall, I thought he pitched well for them. They needed him at times when they were short in the bullpen, and he came up and did a pretty nice job for him most of the time. So I think he kind of showed his worth there.
And I think he's well trusted by Rob Thompson too.
Exactly,
very well trusted.
Yeah, I think he handled what he was asked to do last year for the most part. And I do think whenever Wheeler comes back, assuming Andrew Painter's pitching well, I think Taiwan probably maybe slides in and becomes that 8th reliever swing guy at some point. But, Wheeler might not be back for a month into the season, and by that point, who knows what's going on in the bullpen. So I think a lot of options there. But, yeah, I mean, if Backus keeps pitching the way he's pitching, I think he's made a really strong case to be that third lefty. They really like Bolin, big guy, tall drink of water, that guy, Bolin. You know what I'm talking about. But yeah, no, big guy, big boy, throws hard. Obviously, they got him in the Strom trade. They gave up Strom, so they obviously like him. So yeah, no, that's a good mix, man. We talked a lot about the bullpen when we were down there just because we watched all those guys throw these live sessions, and they were dominant. Keller looked really good, Backus looked really good, Bolin looked really good, facing some Harper, Turner, Schwarber type hitters. So
and Sugar did too.
Yeah.
Sugar struck Bryce out in the very first hitter he faced in live PP.
Right. So, yeah, it's a good mix. I think, and Rob Thompson called it, I think the last day I was down there, maybe Thursday or Friday, the best collection of arms as a whole that they've had in the bullpen since he's been here.
I completely agree.
Yeah.
We went on Ricky Bo's show.
That's right.
On, Thursday?
Yes.
And we both echoed that sentiment, that I think this is the best collection of arms that Rob Thompson has had in the bullpen since he's been there. And I really think that's a huge key piece to this Phillies success in 2026. Yeah, is this bullpen.
Yeah, we got some info on the starting pitchers too.
Yes, we're gonna hit that. Before we do, we're gonna have to pay some bills to our friends at Phillies Sports Strips. Take a quick ad break, and then we'll come back. Dave Dombrowski joins the WIP Morning Show along with Bryce Harper. We'll review their comments as well. And Rob Thompson lays out the pitching plan for some big names going forward in the next few games of spring training.
So escape the cold and come catch the Phillies in Clearwater with NBC Sports Philadelphia and Phillies Sports Strips. We're teaming up to bring fans the most unforgettable Phillies spring training experience yet. The trip includes Phillies game tickets, beachfront accommodations, round-trip travel, all-inclusive tailgates, and much more. Plus, appearances from Larry Boa, Charlie Manuel, and of course, NBC Sports Philadelphia's own Ben Davis. Book your trip today at phillysportstrips.com.
Welcome back to Phillies Talk, presented by Team Toyota. Sean Kane over there, Spencer McKercher over here. And Sean, here's the thing. We saw some comments. I don't know if it's directed at us. There's a prominent name in the Philly media that went on a small Twitter X rant, whatever you want to call it, about how he doesn't like how podcasts tease coming to the commercial break.
Right.
What? I'd rather that. When I'm listening to a podcast, I would like to know, okay, hey.
Here's what's coming up.
Exactly.
Right.
Just to let you know, so it doesn't just hey, we're mid-sentence, and then it ends.
Yes. I hear you.
That's my opinion.
I'm a TV guy, so it's different than a podcast. Obviously,
Sure.
You can kind of scroll through the podcast. But TV, the tease, not to get too inside the business here, is huge. You're doing a show. You want, as you go to break, hey, don't stay with us because we got X, Y, and Z coming up, and you want to kind of hook the viewer, hook the listener on. Stick around because we got, hey, man, you keep teasing stuff.
Yeah, hey, I like it.
That's fine by me.
My show, man. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. It's not. It is not.
Anyway, so we did tease what's coming up, but we wanted to hit something quick. The report from our friends at WIP about Rhys Hoskins and a possible reunion with the Phillies. That ultimately doesn't happen.
Did not happen.
Devin Caney is a fantastic reporter. And kind of the flack that she has gotten, I fully disagree with. I know she has trusted sources on both sides. It intrigued me right away. Bring Rhys back. We kind of mentioned it a few times in our offseason pods of like, hey, I know it's not really a fit, but if you need, a power bat down the road, we can get there. But Rhys ultimately signs with the Cleveland Guardians on a pretty interesting contract.
Really interesting contract. I couldn't believe. I mean, I guess that's why he was waiting so long to sign. He was waiting for a better deal to come along. I think it was a 1-year, $1.5 million deal that he got. It was kind of like a minor league deal, too, that could obviously, depending on how long he's in the big leagues. But it's just crazy to me that Rhys is signing a 1-year, $1.5 million deal. I know for the Brewers last year, he had his moments. He was hurt for quite a while in the second half of the season. But he, to me, is a productive hitter, at least. A productive offensive player.
For sure.
He's got good on-base skills. He obviously has some pop. Not the best defensive player in the world, but, he can do some DHing for you, play a little first base for you. Good clubhouse guy, obviously. We know that. So I was surprised that he didn't have more suitors and that he ultimately signed a contract that was south of what I thought he would get in terms of financial terms. So interesting there. But yeah, in terms of the Phillies, of course, it's a name we all know. We all like Rhys. But yeah, it's just not a fit because, Bryce isn't going to, once they sign Adolis Garcia, he's playing right field. I think Bryce would move to right field if the Phillies signed Pete Alonso.
That's exactly it.
Or if Vlad didn't sign with the Blue Jays last year and he was a free agent. I think Bryce makes that move for a limited number of first basemen. And I don't think, unfortunately, Rhys is one of those guys. I think Bryce is a better defensive first baseman than Rhys. Well, then again, you have Garcia in right field, so it just didn't really make sense unless you bring Rhys in as a right-handed bench bat. But I'm sure he wants to play, and I'm sure he'll get a little more opportunity in Cleveland to play. But yeah, it just didn't seem to make sense for the Phillies. I wish it would have, but yeah, it was interesting the way it all played out.
Yeah, and Bryce, went out and said, hey, probably would have happened, or he wanted it to happen before the trade deadline last year.
Yeah.
Which would have made a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Bringing Rhys Hoskins in on a trade would have been phenomenal. Can you imagine the city going nuts if Rhys returns for that kind of playoff run last year? But regardless, the fit just wouldn't have been there. But again, I trust Devin and I trust her sources, and I think everything that she reported is true, and the hate that she's getting, I'm just going to put that out there, is unwarranted.
Yeah. Social media hate, that's weird.
Right.
It's usually such a positive general area.
Did you happen to see, I don't know, I didn't show you to you because I actually didn't have time, but our good buddy Clayton showed me. There's a comment on one of the Instagram posts of you and I talking to Justin.
Oh, boy.
And literally the comment is, who the are these two reporters?
Reporters, all right.
Reporters.
At least he's calling us reporters. I'll take that. We're serious, getting to the bottom of stories down there.
That person not a friend of the program.
No, not a fan of the program, apparently. But we met some fans of the program down there. There's a lot of positive. We should say that. There is a lot of positive on social media, too.
And we appreciate it all the time.
Not just for our podcast, but social media can be a fun place, and people can be positive. It just seems that negativity kind of wins the day on occasion. But yes, it's not everybody's going to like the reporters.
We brush it off.
Again, hard-hitting reporter. I love it. Yeah.
Oh, it's so good. It's so good. All right, so before we dive into Dave and Bryce and the pitching plans as well, really the other newsy and noteworthy thing that came out in the last few days is Aidan Miller.
Yeah.
And Bryce kind of breaks it while talking to Tom and Ruben in the booth
on Sunday.
The very first spring training game on NBC Sports Philadelphia, the very first home game at Baycare Ballpark. So halfway through the game, Bryce is talking to the guys and just slightly mentions hey, we need Aidan healthy again, whatever. Basically, not the exact quote, but something along those lines.
Right. Get his butt out there, ha. But no, just kidding. We need him to be healthy. We're going to need him this year.
Bingo.
Yeah.
And then it comes out that he's dealing with a small back issue.
Yes.
And we probably won't see Aidan maybe in a week or two. I've had some lower back pain.
Oh, yeah.
And it is not fun.
Well, you're in your 30s now. Get used to it, pal.
Dude, I'd had it when I was 18, too, playing basketball.
Man. Yeah.
And it is legitimately you can't walk. It's not fun. So, I mean, hopefully we see Aidan here shortly, because I think fans are clamoring as much as I am to see him get some big league action here in spring.
Yeah, no, Rob Thompson was asked about him after Wednesday's game, like, hey, what's the latest on Miller? And saying he's still just getting treatment and resting, and so it doesn't seem like it's like, hey, he might be in the lineup tomorrow. You're right. I think it's going to be a while, and as it should be. There's no need to rush him back in here in late February. Obviously, he's a guy that you have big plans for. But yeah, when Bryce said that, I was like, then I thought about it when we were down there. Like, he wasn't really taking part, Aidan Miller, that is, in a lot of the infield stuff they were doing. I remember the one, I think it was Thursday or Friday, even Bryce or somebody was yelling out, "Where's Miller?" So maybe that was the day he started feeling it. Who knows?
Because he was taking it.
Correct,
My first few days,
when
Saturday,
I got down
Sunday,
there, yeah, when I got down there on Tuesday, yeah. And it kind of struck me that later in the week, as the week went on, he wasn't taking part as much. So clearly, at some point last week, something grabbed out on him. And yeah, be safe, be careful, and take your time coming back. But disappointing, just because I was really looking forward to seeing him get some ABs in these games and see how he played third base and play some shortstop, and that still plenty of time for that. But they just got to play it safe with him, obviously.
And I think once these guys head to the WBC, we'll probably kind of try to like ramp him up a little bit to be like, hey man, how you feeling? Are we ready to go? And we will see Aidan Miller shortly. At least I hope so. It sounds like it's all just proactive right now.
Who is playing spring training games is Stephen Kwan for Cleveland. The Stephen Kwan, Aidan Miller debate. It's just, guys available.
It's leaning one way right now.
We got to keep tabs on this.
February 25th.
Never in my life have I wanted to be wrong on a bet. No, it's not really even a bet. It was, of course, last deadline. You were ready. You were no parts of sending Aidan Miller anywhere, and I was kind of in for the Stephen Kwan deal.
I'm so glad they didn't.
Let's hope so.
I'm so excited for that kid, man. I'm so excited.
But yeah, hopefully he's back in there soon.
Oh, yeah. All right. So on Wednesday, during the game as well, we always talk to Rob Thompson on the broadcast, and Rob laid out some pitching plans, and they're exciting. Very exciting. We're going to see really 4 of the 5 starters in this rotation pitch in the next few days.
Very exciting. Yes. You want to lay it out? Do you want me to lay it out?
Whatever you want, dude. I'll lay it out.
Lay it out? Go ahead.
We got Taijuan Walker.
Yeah.
On Thursday.
Yes, sir.
Against, now I had it pulled up.
Against the Twins at home?
The Twins at home.
Yep.
And then Aaron Nola will go against the Marlins.
Also at home.
On Friday at home.
Yep.
And then we get fun.
Yes.
Our guy, Christopher Sanchez, will pitch on Saturday against the Blue Jays in Dunedin.
Not far away.
To that.
Yep.
And then we have probably the most exciting one.
Yes, sir.
And that is Andrew Painter will pitch on Sunday against the Yankees in Tampa at their home ballpark. Either way, I'm so excited to see these guys back on the mound and facing some, good hitters.
So a lot to get to here. First, I want to mention Friday Nola, Saturday Sanchez, Sunday Painter. You can watch all 3 of those games either on NBC Sports Philadelphia Plus or on our main channel. Sunday's game, Painter against the Yankees, will be on our main channel. I mean, big time. That's going to be a big audience. Sunday afternoons are always huge, even in spring training. But to see Andrew Painter pitch against the Yanks, man, that's going to be fun. So looking forward to that. Painter, obviously, just a huge start for him. Not a huge start for him, but just a huge moment to get out there on the mound. Hasn't pitched in a spring training game the last couple of springs for the Phillies. So really looking forward to watching him take on a team like the Yankees, at least for a couple innings. Who knows how long he'll go. But everything he does is going to be watched and scrutinized and judged. And no pun intended with the judge there. Looking forward to see how he does in that matchup. But yeah, I'm excited. I'm really excited to watch Painter against the Yanks. And Sanchez, obviously, against the Blue Jays. You know what to expect from him. But I did want to touch on, we on Friday morning watched him throw a bullpen from about 10 feet away. Like we could have hopped in the box from where we were standing, and just watching him, and Rob Thompson's watching him, and Caleb Cotham's out there, and just how impressive his stuff is. Like you look at his fastball, then it's like, all right, you try to time that up, and he throws a changeup. Like, how does anybody hit this guy? Just watching the way he was throwing, and Rob Thompson walks by, and what do you guys think? Any good? Think he can make the team?
That was so funny.
That was pretty funny. But yeah, just really impressive to watch a bullpen that close to see how the ball comes out of his hand is pretty remarkable. So yeah, fired up to watch him on Saturday and watch the rest of the guys as we start getting in the rotation here. Luzardo's going to pitch next week, so starting to ramp it up a little bit here.
So Luzardo will pitch a simulated game this weekend as well, just at Baker Ballpark with some of the other guys that won't make the trip to Dunedin or Tampa.
Yep.
Then it sounds like he will pitch a week from Thursday for his first spring training game. We, talked about and praised him after he looked phenomenal in his first live bullpen session of the spring last Tuesday, I think, Wednesday maybe?
Yeah, Wednesday, I think. Yeah.
He looked phenomenal. We talked to Brandon Marsh, who was just in awe over Luzardo. So don't you worry. Luzardo, nothing wrong with him. He's going to ramp up here a little bit later than these guys. But a cool note from our good buddy Jim Salisbury. God, it feels so good to have him back at NBC Sports Philadelphia. So he wrote an article on NBCSportsPhiladelphia.com, and he notes that the similarities between somebody making their really spring training big league debut to a point. I know Painter's pitched before.
Yeah.
Are kind of wild. So he writes, for some, Painter's start on Sunday will conjure memories of a time a young prospect named Cole Hamels faced the Yankees in his first Grapefruit League action back in 2004.
I remember this. That's how old I am.
Hamels, just 20 at the time,
you go ahead. I think
had never pitched above single A when he appeared in relief that day at Legends Field in Tampa. He proceeded to strike out Derek Jeter, Alex Rodriguez, and Tony Clark in order.
Yeah.
And all three went down on changeups.
I remember this. I remember that game, him facing their big guys and being like, wow, this kid's going to be really good. Can't wait for him to get up here. But yeah, that's crazy that Jim made a mention of that. That's time flies, man. I think that's 22 years ago.
22, dude.
I remember him, Cole, coming up and facing the big boys and Jeter and A-Rod. And that changeup looks pretty good. He's probably going to get a couple strikeouts in his career on that pitch. Sure enough.
Yeah. So just pretty cool. Andrew Painter making his 2026 debut in Tampa against the Yankees. I can't wait for that, man. And
that'll be fun.
Sunday,
tune in.
Sit down on the couch. It'll be on NBC Sports Philadelphia.
Yeah.
Sit down, watch it. It's going to be incredible. I'm excited to see him go out there. What would be a good, like, in your eyes, not great, because there's the possibility of fantastic, because I'm sure he's going to face Judge and some of those big-name guys.
No doubt.
Stanton included, maybe Chisholm. But, like, in your eyes, what would be a good start for Andrew Painter?
I'm sure they're going to have a hard pitch limit on him, which I don't want to guess what that'll be. But to me, like,
2 innings max?
I was just going to say 2 innings, 1 hit, 3 strikeouts, no walks, no runs. So just to see the command, obviously, and the stuff, and that's obviously aiming high, but just to see him come out of it healthy and feeling good, and the zip on his fastball and the command on his off-speed stuff and breaking pitches. So, yeah, I mean, you said Judge and Chisholm and Bellinger. Like, there's going to be some big boys that are going to face him in those first couple innings, I would think. So, yeah, it should be fun, man. But I'm sure he's anxious. He's excited to get back on the mound. We're all anxious to watch him. And hopefully it's a big couple of weeks for him here, and he's in that rotation and end of March, and here we go. And Andrew Painter's making his big league debut, but he's a big part of their plans, and they're going to need him to step up, and I think he's ready to do it.
And just like Luzardo, I think his focus is on 2 things, health and command, just like Luzardo said.
Right.
If those are going to be the 2 main focuses for Painter, not just on Sunday, but for probably the rest of spring, because we know how the command was affected last season in his first full year after Tommy John. It obviously wasn't the best, and that's going to be a huge sticking point for him as he moves forward in 2026. Can't wait. Looking forward to that.
Should be fun.
All right. Dave jumped on the morning show at WIP today. Not really a lot. I think finally it's time to put to bed the whole Harper and him and conversation with that. Did you have really any big takeaways other than, for me, it was just talking about the fans and how he likes this club and how he's like, the fans that I see when they come up to me in Palm Beach and they're like, oh, hey, Dave, we love the team. Can't wait for this year.
Yeah.
Compared to the teams or the fans that are calling in to WIP and even 97.5 and to us as well that are like, oh, this team is a disaster.
Right.
And he was like, you know what? It's fine.
Yeah.
This team, again, has a 95-win baseball team, back-to-back National League East champions. We're going to keep moving on. And then he was asked about kind of why they weren't succeeding in the playoffs, and he didn't really have an answer for that, because I don't think there is an answer for that.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I think it could be a case of like the vocal minority of people that are just like, we want to shake it up's sake. But I do think you said, like, a lot of people are excited to watch this team, and people do appreciate the fact that what they've done in the regular season to win a couple division titles, and yes, the playoffs. But yeah, I don't know how you explain it other than they lost a tightly contested series to the best team in baseball. They didn't hit enough. We're going to need to work on that, and there's going to be good pitching in the playoffs regardless who you face, not just the Dodgers. But yeah, no. General takeaway was, I think it's time to move past Dombrowski, Harper, and they've each talked about it. We've been talking about it. It's almost literally been 5 months now. It was like mid-October when that whole thing started, and we've dissected it at every angle, and now it's on Bryce to kind of go out there and prove everybody and prove Dave wrong. Not wrong, but just kind of show that he is still elite and prove that he belongs among the best hitters in baseball still in his 15th Major League season, which I think he is determined to do.
I think so, too. There wasn't really too many other takeaways. And then Bryce also goes on the morning show as well. And he talked about just the lockout, really, and his comments with Dave and all that. And he shot down the report with Rhys. But the main takeaway for me for that was, do you think they're going to start on time in 2027? The answer was no.
No.
Then he said, do you think they're going to lose the whole season? His answer was no. He hopes that at some point in maybe May, possibly June, we'll see what happens. But I was talking to some of the guys down there when I was down there about the lockout. And basically it sounds like it confirmed not going to start on time. They will be lucky to get a season in, but it's going to come down to just what owners are going to stick with the majority of owners and what they believe.
Right.
Is it going to be like one of those scenarios when you all sit down in a room, they start, finger pointing, or the finger pointing starts, and then all of a sudden everyone's like, yeah, we're going to one side, even though they might believe the other.
Sure.
All that fun stuff.
Right.
But it sounds like, John Middleton and everybody is kind of ready for change and ready for kind of a new, I don't know what's the word I'm looking for, like a new wave of just kind of getting this behind us. But I don't think it's going to come anytime soon.
Yeah, no, it's going to be a long, dragged-out process, unfortunately. I think Bryce referenced it in his interview, like, if we haven't been able to come to agreement in the last 3 years, and what's going to change in 3 months, like once the season ends in the World Series, to when the owners will likely lock the players out in December. So, yeah, it doesn't look great, so enjoy this season. I'd be surprised if you and I are in Clearwater in mid-February again last year if they start on time. Hopefully they figure it out and they can start playing the season on time, but we'll see. It's going to be, I just remember when they signed the last CBA, and then, it's only 5 years as opposed to 10. I'm like, oh, boy, like that was 21. I just thought it was 26. We're going to do this all again, and sure enough, here we are. So I think Bryce is looking at it realistic. It's interesting to me that Bryce has clearly become one of the voices of the players' side of this, like as he should be. He's been around for a long time. He's one of the faces of the game, and I think he takes a lot of pride in his words, wanting to make sure this deal that gets done is good for the younger guys coming up, just like the older guys did for him, and he doesn't want to compromise too much and leave these new guys with a deal that they don't think is fair. So both sides are going to dig in, and it'll be interesting to see how it all plays out. So that was interesting from Bryce. Bryce also did an interview with The Athletic and Matt Gelb and mentioned a few interesting things there. A lot of about what he mentioned when he first arrived, how people have noticed it didn't look like he was having a lot of fun, and why aren't you smiling? And my wife gets on me about that, and I am having fun, but there were some things I went through last year, not being healthy, and it was interesting to me just kind of him talking his way through it about trying to recapture that love for the game, and he still loves being out there, even though it might not look like he does all the time.
And again, that's just getting older, baby.
Yeah, I hear you.
Just getting older.
I hear you.
It's the energy kind of depletes. You have he has 4 kids now.
4 kids.
Yeah, and he talks about them all the time.
Right.
I've heard him chat about, all his kids and waking up with them and, just having fun with them constantly to some of the guys, even in the clubhouse.
Yeah.
So I think, Bryce is having fun. Baseball is a true love for that guy.
Yeah. And
no matter what, he's going to love playing here in Philadelphia. He wants to end his career here in Philadelphia. He's not going to get traded anytime soon. And, I think it's going to hopefully end with a World Series title. Hopefully that can be the cap off of his career. But I'm glad you brought that up because it's one of those things, just getting to know him over the last few years. He's very reserved to a point, but it's also doesn't mean he's not having fun. It means that he's just very focused on one thing and one thing only, and that's winning a World Series championship.
Yeah, man. That's the goal.
That's the goal.
Not everybody can be like you and just bounce around the workplace with that constant enthusiasm and energy and smile on your face. It's tough to do.
I appreciate you, buddy.
I'm really not. I'm kidding around. You do that. Like, I'm not kidding around, I should say. That's legit. You're happy, lucky go guy all the time.
Try to
much
be, man.
Appreciated, especially at work. It's not easy sometimes.
Yeah, try to be. And to be honest, as we wrap up, the last thing I want to hit on, there was something to be pretty happy about today, Sean Kane. The Million Podcast. It's basically a podcast rating system to a point.
Yeah.
They came out with their top 100 Major League Baseball podcasts in the United States.
Okay.
We are coming in the list.
All right.
Now, I'm happy we made the list.
Sure.
I was not too happy when I kept scrolling.
Oh, no.
But we come in at number 59, baby.
All right.
We come in at number 59.
All right. And there's a lot of podcasts out there, Spence.
That's the thing. Like, I thought about it. I was, thinking about it in the drive into work today. Like, there's probably, I don't know, with the Rockies per se,
sure.
or, any teams out west.
Right.
But I would like to think that there's probably 3 to 4 podcasts per team.
Oh, yeah. Phillies-wise, there's more than that.
Phillies, there's about 10.
Yeah. Yeah, well, that's good, man. Number
and
59.
So we'll take number 59.
Right.
We'll take number 59. And
it was Topper's old number, right? Now it's Duran?
Now it's Duran, yeah.
Okay.
And basically it was based off, it was a curated list of the best Major League Baseball podcasts to listen to or connect with for podcast outreach initiatives. Each listing includes host, booking agent, producer contact, blah, blah, blah. These products are ranked based on their Apple review count, Apple and Spotify ratings, and monthly listeners' activeness, subject expertise, and overall authority within the niche.
Wow, the niche.
I feel like we hit all of them.
We sure do.
Coming in at number 59.
Across the board there. Number 59, baby, with a bullet.
Now,
going upward.
I did text you, and I'm not going to repeat what I did text you. But if we're not in the top 10...
Wow, that's a big goal,
It's a
man.
big jump, dude.
Yeah.
But, the sky's the limit here.
Yeah.
We appreciate you guys. So what I'm going to ask for our listeners to do is rate our podcast.
Okay.
Give it a fair rating. I'm not going to ask for 5s, but rate this podcast, whether on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you get your podcast. Subscribe and rate. We're going to get to the top 10 next year.
Okay.
And if
Good
we
to have
don't,
goals.
If we don't, I will do something.
Now, if we
can't
fall
repeat on
short
air.
of the goal, do we run it back in 27 like the Phils? Do we keep the core together and just keep building?
We have to.
Yeah,
We're going to just
the core
keep building.
together.
We're going
All
to
right.
keep building here.
Good. All right.
Over at NBC
We don't
Sports
need to shake it
Philadelphia.
up just for the sake of shaking it up.
No, we're not going to shake it up.
All right. 59's a good starting point.
More friends of the program, maybe.
That's right.
More guests
Yes.
come in.
Yes.
Could have Jim Salisbury joining us now.
Nice. Ricky will be involved when the season
Metallica
starts.
will be involved.
Mark Davis, better known as Ben. I think we'll get him on a couple times.
Ben Davis back.
Yes. All right.
It's going to be fun, man.
Should be fun.
It's going to be a good time.
Player guests, I'm sure.
And I guess to wrap up, I don't necessarily know if we have to do this, but to wrap up, we are going to miss Taryn Hatcher like crazy. And I know a lot of the comments, there's a lot of Phillies fans that are upset. And I think she did what's best for her, whatever it may be. But she will be missed like crazy here. And she actually started about 2 months after I started here. So we've both been here, basically from the start, from when we both started. And going to miss her like crazy, but we'll stay in touch like crazy. But going to miss her on the sidelines for sure.
For sure. No, I've known Taryn. She was an intern here before she started when you started. So I've known Taryn for a long time. Obviously, her work speaks for itself. She was a big part of our newsroom. Covered all the sports. She was obviously very well versed on the Eagles, and she did a lot of stuff with the Flyers and Sixers sidelines, Phillies sidelines these last couple of seasons. So in a tough town like Philadelphia, she certainly proved that she was more than capable of doing the job. So interested to see where she goes next. Certainly going to miss her, friendship wise and seeing her around. Taryn and my wife Amy are very tight, and they just got together not too long ago. So hopefully we can stay in touch. But yeah, we'll miss Taryn. It's just kind of the nature of the business sometimes, unfortunately. But best wishes for her moving forward, and I'm sure she'll do great things.
A true pros pro.
Yes,
a true pros pro. She was phenomenal at what she does, and she'll be missed greatly here at NBC Sports Philadelphia. But just had to throw that in there. Let's wrap it up, Sean Kane.
We're wrapping.
Thanks for listening to the Phillies Talk podcast presented by Team Toyota. That is Sean Kane. I am Spencer McKercher. We will talk to you guys hopefully next week. Hopefully recapping, seeing your the 5 starters in this rotation pitch well in their first spring games of the season.